What's going on, guys? It's your boy Vega, and today we're going to be talking about the top sneaker releases for the month of December. December has a couple of gems, but nothing too crazy. So at the same time, we get to save a little bit of money because 2025 has just been crazy for sure. First things first, release dates are subject to change, so do not kill me in the comment section. I don't control none of that, you feel me? Also, I'm gonna start it off with some Jordan releases first and then hit you with a sprinkle of the rest of the sneaker brands. So with all of that out of the way, let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so the first Jordan release that I want to talk about is the Jordan 1 sale. This is set to be releasing on December 1st for $185, and this one is actually a pretty clean colorway. I really like this whole sale age type of vibe, and also I really like that swoosh as well that has the infamous elephant print, and I also like that Nike Air branding in the tongue section in red. Of course, I think it's a nice pop of color for the sneaker. I think the sneaker overall looks very clean. One thing that I don't like at all whatsoever is the translucent sole. I hate translucent soles. I feel that pretty much they age very bad, and at the end of the day, you're not gonna get the best value out of your sneakers. So I wish that they actually just had maybe kind of a gray, or just leave it sail all throughout the midsole and the bottom sole, of course. But I feel the sneaker looks pretty clean if you're looking for that whole kind of like age type of vibe. And for $185 in today's market of 2025, where all Jordan 1s are just sitting, I mean, that's just not a good look for me at all whatsoever. So because of those reasons, I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is a pass. The next Jordan release is definitely a little bit better, and that is the SoleFly Air Jordan 3, set to be releasing on December 5th for $230, and these look very clean. It kind of reminds me of like a player exclusive or a team exclusive to the Miami Hurricanes, but it makes sense because they actually took inspiration from Miami's culture and applied it into this sneaker, of course. And if you didn't know, SoleFly is also located in Miami, and I think that they look very clean for sure. Let's go ahead and talk about the sneaker because I think it looks very clean. Like I mentioned, H midsole, and then in the heel tab we have the SoleFly logo right there, which is kind of nice to see because we typically don't see anything in the heel tab, and I feel that it looks very clean as well. Nike Air branding in the back, which looks amazing, and the sneaker overall looks very clean. So at the end, I feel like if you're from Miami, if you love the Miami Hurricanes, if you love that whole orange and green color combo, you're gonna go for these for sure. Me, on the other hand, I'm gonna go ahead and say pass for rocking them, like to wear them, but I might consider them just to maybe trade for something else because in 2025, I missed out on a couple of sneakers. Brick by bricks. Yeah, I missed out on those, and I'm not really happy about that. So at the end, I feel like I'm gonna go for them for those reasons. So because of those reasons, I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is a cop. Up next, we have a very clean sneaker, and that is the Maniere Jordan 4 Dark Mochas, set to be releasing on December 12th for $225. And yeah, man, these actually look very nice, especially for the fall time. I wish that they would have dropped in November because I feel like more people would have gotten more wear out of them. December is kind of, you're still flirting with like the fall time and winter time, but either way, predominantly the whole sneaker is in this dark mocha colorway, monochrome type of vibe for sure. I feel that they look amazing, and you cannot expect anything but good quality from Maniere. Of course, we have Nike Air branding in the back, and I also like that little button as well in the upper part of the sneaker. I think it looks very luxurious, right, if you will. In the tongue section, we have those nice Maniere and Jordan logos, and I feel that overall the sneaker is just a very good look. But if you have noticed, Maniere Jordans in 2025 and late 2024, they haven't been performing very well. So I'm not saying that that is not a good reason to buy them or not. I'm just saying that if you want them, be patient because you probably could get them on sale. So for me, I'm gonna go ahead and say pass. If I find them in the outlet later on, then I might consider them. So because of those reasons, even though it is a nice sneaker, I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is a pass. man, oh man, OGs are gonna go crazy for sure, and they've been waiting for quite some time, since 2013 to be exact, and that is the Jordan 11 Gammas, set to be releasing on December 13 for $235, and these look very clean. This is actually the 2013 version, and they're still going strong. As long as you take care of them, you might want to slap a sole protector, and I've actually worn these probably like 6-7 times in this whole time, and they still look very good. One thing that I like about these is actually the color of the sole. It's like kind of like a dark blue that makes them last even longer, and they don't yellow as easy. But the sneaker itself, of course, is predominantly in black. The beautiful black patent leather all throughout the sneaker, and like I mentioned before, that nice dark blue sole that makes the sneakers last even longer. We have a nice kind of gamma blue Jumpman logo right there in the top portion, the infamous 23 in the back in yellow, and like I mentioned, these are just beautiful. It's kind of like a monochrome type of look, and if you like Jordan 11s, you're probably gonna go for these. And if you've been waiting for quite some time, which I know a lot of OG sneakerheads have been waiting for these, then you're probably gonna go for these. In 2025, they might sit, they might not, but who cares? At the end, just buy what you like. And if you've been waiting for quite some time, don't sleep. This is a sneaker that you want, so just go get them. Hype aside, this is not a Jordan 1 Travis Scott. This is more for those OG sneakerheads that have been collecting for 10 plus, 15 plus years, or even more. So at the end, I feel that it is a very nice sneaker. I do have mine, of course, from 2013 going strong, so I would cop if I didn't have these. But for those reasons, I'm gonna go ahead and say pass, but it's not a bad thing. It's just, I already have these. You get what I'm saying? So for me, it's gonna be a pass. All right, so if you're not really feeling the Jordan 11 Gammas that we just talked about, and you want something a little bit more retro, more classic, then you might like these for sure. And I'm talking about the Jordan 8 Bugs Bunnies, set to be releasing on December 20th for $215. And these are classic. They scream 90s for sure. And in my opinion, this is actually the best, or not the best, top 3 best colorways of all time when it comes down to the Jordan 8. In no specific order, these, the Aquas, and the Playoffs for sure. And then some might argue the metallic, the black metallic, or the chromes. Those look very clean as well. I had a pair of those. Either way, these look very clean. Of course, we have that nice abstract type of mudguard right there on the side. Then we have gray and white, which of course kind of gives you those Bugs Bunny vibes. And in case you didn't know, Bugs Bunny actually wore these in a Jordan commercial back in the day. Then we have the infamous straps of the Jordan 8 that have the little 23 right there in the middle portion right there. Then we have that classic carpet tongue right there in red, blue, and white, and then the Jumpman right there in the middle. This screams 90s for sure. Like I said, I feel that it is a top 3 best colorways of all time. I never had them. The only thing I don't really like about these is that bottom sole, which is in kind of like white color, tends to get yellow very quickly and dirty, and I don't really like that. So I feel like I'm gonna go for them, but I'm gonna wait till they go in the outlets and try to get them then, because at $215 for me at this day and age, I don't think it's worth it. So for those reasons, I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is a pass. Nike's on my feet, keep my cipher complete. In this section of the video, I like to talk about other sneaker brands other than Jordan brand, and the first one is the Stefon Diggs ASICS Gel Trainer Play Shoes, set to be releasing on December 2nd for $160. Of course, the main color is in black, and then we have different type of colors, of course, orange, purple, yellow, green, specifically in that midsole portion right there. But one thing that stands out, of course, is the fact that on the left shoe right there, it says these are your play shoes, which kind of reminds me of like when moms basically like leave you a note saying this is for this is for that, which is a nice little touch. I'm not sure if this was like kind of the inspiration, but at the same time, it is meant almost like it is for kids or inspired by kids. Of course, even though there's a lot of colors going on, it is still very wearable because I feel like the colors are not all up in your face, and the black definitely tones it down for sure. But for me, I don't see myself rocking these. I don't see myself buying them, and if someone gifts them, then maybe. But For those reasons, I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is a pass. Up next, we have the Nike Kobe 9 Lows in the Perspective colorway, set to be releasing on December 3rd for $210. Originally, when they released back in 2014, these actually released in that high top format because, of course, Kobe was getting over an Achilles injury. But these right here are actually a little bit better, so I'm glad that in 2025 we got that low format version. Of course, we have that nice carbon fiber right there in the side, which is a nice touch as always, a volt swoosh right there, and then we have a little bit of an abstract type of effect right there on top of the carbon fiber, which reminds me, oddly enough, of the Jordan 8. Of course, we have that Kobe logo right there in the tongue section. I've never really liked the tongue on the Kobe 8 because it looks odd, like it should be a little bit lower than what it is, but I guess it's not a bad thing. Then we have the infamous lines right there in the back of the sneaker, which of course represent the Achilles injury that Kobe went through as well. I think the sneaker itself looks very good. It's not like all up in your face. It's subtle, but not like loud. I think it's very wearable for sure, and it stands out on the court as well. So if you're a hooper, if you're a Kobe fan, you're probably gonna go for these. I don't think that these are gonna be like an instant sellout. I think that they might sit a little bit, but being that it's December, being that it's Christmas time, this might push sales a little bit more. So if you like them, don't sleep. And yeah, I think it's definitely a fire sneaker. So for me, it's definitely a cop. Up next, we have a very funky sneaker, and that is the Nike SB Dunk Lows in the Nardwuar colorway. They're gonna be releasing first on December 6th on skate shops, etc. And then second, they're gonna release it on the sneakers app on December 9th. They're gonna be priced at $140. And in case you didn't know, Nardwuar is actually a music journalist. He's interviewed artists like Pharrell, Snoop Dogg, etc. He has kind of like a funky, wild personality. He's Canadian as well. He's a pretty funny dude, of course. But the sneakers kind of fit that personality as well. And if you notice, the picture right now shows a hat that he's wearing, and the shoes basically mimic that as well, which is a nice little touch as well. They also remind me a little bit of like a ugly Christmas sweater, which fits those December vibes for sure. Black midsole with a translucent blue sole right there. And then, like I mentioned, predominantly the sneaker is in this ugly sweater type of print. And I think that they look very clean, different as well for a Nike SB Dunk Lows. I feel that SB Dunk Lows this year have been slept on. I don't know why, but I feel that this is a nice one to get, especially when they're priced at $140. I don't think that is like a crazy price. So I feel like I'm gonna go for them because they are very different. They look like really nothing I have, to be honest with you. So because of those reasons, I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is a cop. The next sneaker is an icon, is a legend as well, and that is the Nike Air Griffey Max 1 in the Freshwater colorway, set to be releasing on December 12th for $170. This is a sneaker that released back in 1996, very classic colorway as well. This kind of reminds me of like Ken Griffey Jr. back in 1996 in Seattle in a Mariners uniform, just knocking it out of the park. Home run. A classic for sure, and one that I feel that Nike did a very good job as far as designing for Ken Griffey Jr. himself. I don't have a lot of Ken Griffey Jr. sneakers anymore, and this might take me back in that whole rabbit hole that I don't want to go into. But I think that if there is one, it's probably going to be this one because it really screams that Seattle Mariners era. So because of those reasons, I'm going to go ahead and say that this is a cop. Up next, we have the Nike Book Ones and the What The colorway, set to be releasing on December 16 for $170. This is actually going to be a very limited sneaker. It's only going to be 1,996 units, which represent the birth year of Devin Booker. And I think that it's a very loud sneaker because, of course, we have the What The name attached to them. We have safari influences there, snakeskin, denim, all kinds of colorways, of course, translucent. I mean, it is a lot, basically representing a lot of the sneakers that dropped for the Book Ones. And I feel that if you get your hands on them, of course, they're gonna worth a good amount of money, and as time goes on, they're gonna worth even more money. So this might be like a good investment for you if you want to basically get them. And if you love Devin Booker, I mean, I don't see why not, especially this being the first signature sneaker for Devin Booker. So yeah, man, I think that they look very clean. I don't know if I would rock them, but it's a nice little sneaker to have for Nike basketball history. So because of those reasons, I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is a cop. The next sneaker is the Nike Kobe 3 Protros in the Christmas colorway, set to be releasing on December 24th for $210. And I always hate when Nike releases whatever it is, sneaker that represents a holiday the day of or the day before, because by the time that you actually get them in hand, the holiday is already done with. Like Christmas Eve, by the time you order these, you're gonna get them like December 31st. Like, would you even want to rock these? But however, lucky for you, this is more of a white blue type of colorway that is very neutral. It goes pretty much with anything, and you could pretty much rock them all throughout the year. And I think that they look clean, man. I think that kind of reminds me a little bit of like Stephen Curry Under Armour shoe a little bit with a Nike twist, which funny enough, Stephen Curry is actually a free agent. So maybe one of his sneaker models would be something like this. I think that Curry would actually hoop in these right here because kind of reminds, it kind of reminds me a little bit of him, at least what we're accustomed to seeing him on. But either way, these Kobe 3s look decent. I'm not gonna go out of my way to get them. I want to say that right off the bat, but I feel that they are very clean, especially if you have, ankle injuries. This would be something that will give you a nice little support. I don't think that they're going to sell out, and if they do, again, it's because of that whole Christmas shopping, that basically pushes a lot of these sales. So for me, I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is a pass. That's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed my top sneaker releases for the month of December. Like I mentioned before, December is nothing too crazy, but there's definitely a couple of gems here and there. So again, good luck. If you made it all the way through, you are the real MVP, man. So go ahead and comment Gamma, and that will let me know that you made it all the way through, that you rock with your boy pretty heavy as well. Also, if you made it all the way through, go ahead and hit subscribe, smash the like button. It really does go a long way. It helps me, it helps the algorithm recognize your boy and all of that good stuff. And also, if you made it all the way through, go ahead and check out my social media pages right there. With all of that being said, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.